Today we are going to discuss about Stelar evolution in Pteridophytes. Before going to the topic, let's see what are Pteridophytes. The Pteridophytes are vascular cryptogams. The group includes an assemblage of seedless vascular plants that have successfully invaded the land and reproduced mainly by means of spores. The lower cryptogams, algae, fungi, and bryophyta have no conducting system. That means they doesn't have xylem and phloem tissues. From Pteridophyta onwards, vascular tissues are developed. Pteridophyta, gymnosperms, and angiosperms have vascular tissues, and they are known as vascular plants. These vascular plants together share a number of apomorphies. They have lignified secondary walls, sclerenchyma, xylem and phloem, endodermis, independent long-lived sporophyte, and roots. Coming to the topic, Stelar evolution in Pteridophytes. What is a stele? Stele is the central vascular cylinder. Vascular cylinder means xylem and phloem, with or without pith, and endodermis separating it from cortex. Stele is nothing but the endodermal region, the vascular bundles, and sometimes they have a central pith. As I have already mentioned, the Pteridophyta has well-developed vascular system. One of the main characteristic features that separates the group from the lower group of bryophytes. The vascular tissues, xylem and phloem, are joining the group Pteridophytes. The stele. What is the stele? Stele is the central vascular cylinder with or without pith and endodermis separating it from cortex. You can clearly see in this picture the enlarged portion of the stele. Stele consists of an endodermis, xylem, phloem, and sometimes in the central portion we have pith. Pith can be parenchymatous or sclerenchymatous. What is stele? Stele is the central vascular cylinder with or without pith and an endodermis separating it from the cortex. In Pteridophyta, there are 4 different types of steles are mainly seen. Protostele, siphonostele, dictyostele, and eustele. The protostele can be of 5 different types: haplostele, actinostele, plectostele, mixed protostele, and polystele. Siphonostele can be of simple and solenostele. The simple siphonostele is further divided into amphiploic siphonostele and ectoploic siphonostele. The solenostele is also further divided into ectoploic solenostele and amphiploic solenostele. Then the third type, main type, dictyostele, it is also divided into two: simple dictyostele and polycyclic dictyostele. And the most advanced is eustele, the one similar to the modern dicot vascular bundle. Start with the most primitive type of stele. The most primitive type of stele found in Pteridophytes is known as protostele. Protostele is the stele with central core of xylem surrounded by phloem. It is the most primitive and simplest type of stele. And the protostele is divided into 5 types: haplostele, actinostele, plectostele, mixed protostele, and polystele. Haplostele. Haplostele is the simplest protostele with a central core of xylem surrounded by phloem. You can see in this picture of xylotem rhizome here, the central xylem core simply surrounded by phloem and in turn surrounded by endodermis. This type of stele is seen in Selaginella stem, Glycemia, etc. Second type of protostele is actinostele. Actinostele is a protostele. The word actino means star shape. Star shape. That is, the central xylem core is with radiating width and looks like a star and surrounded by phloem. In this picture of xylotum stem spheres, you can see the central xylem core with a star-shaped appearance and surrounded by phloem. This type of stele is also found in Lycopodium serratum xylotum stem. Third type of protostele is plectostele. Plectostele means xylem is side-like or parallel to each other. In this picture, you can see the xylem is parallel to each other. The xylem is divided into different groups and each group is parallel to each other and surrounded by phloem. This type of stele is seen in the species Lycopodium clavatum. Fourth major protostele is mixed protostele. In this mixed protostele, xylem and phloem are uniformly distributed. In this picture of Lycopodium sernum stem spheres, you can see xylem elements are broken up into small groups and all get surrounded by phloem. That is, xylem and phloem are mixed. This is the most advanced among protostele and is considered as transitional between protostele and the siphonostele. Siphonostele is the second major group of stele found in Pteridophytes. The last type of protostele is polystele. It is found in Selaginella stem, that is, this Selaginella stem has one or more protostele or the haplostele arranged in a parallel manner. In single stem cross section, we can see more than one haplostele. Okay, we have been discussing about 5 different types of protostele. 5 different types of protostele is haplostele, actinostele, plectostele, mixed protostele and polystele. What is a protostele? Protostele is nothing but central core of xylem surrounded by phloem. How protostele differ from siphonostele? Siphonostele has a central pit, or it is known as medullated stele. The stele with central pit. In protostele there was no pit, only central xylem surrounded by phloem. In siphonostele we have central pit. The pit is in turn surrounded by xylem and phloem on outside. There are 2 types of siphonostele: simple siphonostele and solenostele. What is a simple siphonostele? Simple siphonostele is a modified protostele with a central pit. Nothing but a protostele with a central pit is known as simple siphonostele. The pit can be of parenchymatous or sclerenchymatous. The pit can be made up of parenchymatous cells or sclerenchyma cells. There are 2 types of simple siphonostele: ectofloic siphonostele and antifloic siphonostele. Let's see what is an ectofloic siphonostele. In this picture of Osmunda stem spheres, you can see the central portion is made up of parenchymatous cells, and this central portion of parenchymatous cell is known as pit, and it is surrounded by concentric rings of xylem and in turn followed by phloem. Ectofloic siphonostele means outside is phloem. Ecto means outside, floid means phloem. Outside to the xylem is phloem. Only on the outside of xylem, phloem is present, and siphonome is having a central pit. The type of steel is known as ectoploid steel. It is found in Osmunda and Botany. Second type of steel is amphiploid steel. Amphi means on both sides of xylem, phloem is present. And it is a steel, meaning that the central portion is occupied by pith. In this picture of Marsilia rhizome, we can clearly see that the central portion is occupied by pith. Pith is followed by phloem, and phloem is followed by xylem. The xylem in turn followed by phloem. That is, on both sides of xylem, phloem is present and the central portion is occupied by a pith. This type of vascular bundle is known as amphiploid steel and seen in Adiantum and Marsilia. While coming to solenostele, the second major type of steel. The leaf gap is a break in the vascular tissue of a stem above the attachment of a leaf trace. So, solenostele is nothing but a siphonostele with a leaf gap on one point or with a single leaf gap. The solenostele is of two types: ectoploid solenostele, which is found in Osmunda, and amphiploid style, which is found in Adiantum and Marsilia rhizome at leaf arising regions. Because at leaf arising regions there must be a leaf trace is formed that leaves a gap in the vascular bundle. Ectoploid means only on the outside portion there is phloem. Only on the outside of xylem there is phloem present. Amphiploid means on both sides of xylem, phloem present. And this type of steel is known as solenostele. Solenostele, and how it differs from siphonostele. Siphonostele differs from protostele in having a pith, and solenostele differs from siphonostele in having a leaf gap on one point. Next major type of steel is dictyostele. Dictyostele is a siphonostele with overlapping leaf gap. It differs from siphonostele having more than one leaf gap. And the dictyostele is of two types: simple dictyostele and polycyclic dictyostele. In this picture, you can see simple dictyostele and polycyclic dictyostele. What is a simple dictyostele? Before going to that, in the picture of simple dictyostele, you can see a portion marked as meristele. What is a meristele? Meristele is the portion of vascular tissue which lies in between two leaf gaps. And the meristele is protostelic in nature. Meristele is the portion of vascular tissue that lies in between two leaf gaps in a dictyostele. And what is a simple dictyostele? In a simple dictyostele, this meristele or vascular tissue is arranged in a single ring, and it is found in polypoida. And when coming to polycyclic dictyostele, the meristeles are arranged in more than one ring. There can be two or more rings of vascular bundles present, and it is seen in Pteridophytes. Most advanced type of steel found in Pteridophytes is true steel. U means true steel. What is true vascular bundle? True vascular bundle is collateral and conjoined in nature. In this picture, you can see the vascular bundle, xylem and phloem are arranged in the same radii and together. And this type of steel is found in ecosystem, the Pteridophytes ecosystem, and it is similar to the vascular bundle of dicot stump, and it is the most advanced type. In this video, we have discussed the stellar evolution of pteridophytes, from how the vascular bundle is evolved from a proto-stele to a new-stele. The most primitive type of stele is proto-stele, and it has only xylem, central core of xylem, then surrounded by phloem. It is all different types based on the shape of xylem or the arrangement. It is of 5 types. Then the second type is the stele with a central tip, and it is known as cyphinostele. Then the third type is stele with a leaf cap, and it is called as solenostele. And the stele with many leaf caps is known as diptyostele. And the final issue stele is U stele, and it is found in epiphyta.